I need someone that can, like, no matter how late we stay up and whatever we do the night before, like, she still wants to get up and go to.
That line right there, a grown man, a husband, a father, describing exactly what he wants in a woman. And it is not his wife.
Have you ever hooked up with Travis Barker?
No, I never have. Absolutely. That I do not mind you asking.
Okay.
I never have. And that really sucks that has gone on. But he dated Paris and we were all friends and we'd all like hang out. And when I was with Paris, we'd be on the road and go to like their tour in Amsterdam. And like, so I have been friends with him, but never like in that way.
She said never, but the internet never forgot that Travis wrote about Kim in his own book, and neither did Kourtney.
Mom, stop making out with Travis, bro. Like, didn't you just have a baby?
That was supposed to be a joke, but now nobody's laughing because Travis Barker has been caught flirting with a girl his daughter's age. And while Kourtney is spiraling behind closed doors, her own sister Kim is said to be doing the absolute last thing you'd expect a sister to do. She's mocking her. But here's what nobody is connecting. Let's rewind. Because before we get to the shade, the silence, and the side piece, we need to talk about how we got here. Because this didn't start last week. The cracks in Kourtney and Travis's marriage have been visible for a while now. People just weren't looking because the PDA was blinding everyone. Think about what this relationship looked like from the outside. Constant touching, matching outfits, public makeout sessions that made even their own family uncomfortable. They branded themselves as soulmates, as this intense, undeniable, once-in-a-lifetime love story. And for a minute, people bought it hard. But here's the thing about relationships that are performed loudly in public. The louder they are, the more you have to ask what they're drowning out. Because now, sources are saying Kourtney has been feeling overwhelmed and emotionally disconnected, that she's been quieter than usual, more guarded, more private. And for someone who once put every single moment of her romance on display, that silence is not nothing. That silence is a message. Friends close to the situation say she's been carrying emotional weight alone. Travis has reportedly been deep in his own world, work, projects, his own headspace, while Kourtney is craving the one thing that this relationship was always supposed to give her: stability, reassurance, presence, and instead, she's getting distance. Their public appearances lately have been telling. Less warmth, less eye contact, less of that electricity that used to be impossible to miss. Travis looks closed off. Kourtney looks calm on the surface, but fans and insiders alike say underneath that composed face, she is emotionally exhausted. Side by side, they no longer feel like a united front. They feel like two people who are coping in completely opposite directions and drifting further apart every single day. So here's where things get specifically explosive. Because the rumor that started circulating recently wasn't vague. It wasn't some maybe, possibly, could be type of blind item. It was pointed. It was specific. And the internet did not react with shock. It reacted with exhaustion. The blind item that dropped basically said, I'm a well-known reality star is being cheated on by her partner with someone barely older than his own daughter, someone around 19 years old. And the second people read that, there was no debate about who it was pointing to. The comments section filled up immediately, and the reaction wasn't outrage. It was almost resigned. Like, yeah, okay, here we go again. Because here's the part people keep glossing over. Travis Barker cheating is not a rumor that came out of thin air. This isn't some random allegation from a stranger on the internet. This is a pattern that Travis himself documented. In his own memoir, with his own words, he admitted to cheating during his marriage to Shauna Moakler, said he was the problem, said it was happening with multiple women, said commitment wasn't exactly his strong suit. He admitted to cheating in his first marriage to Melissa Kennedy, and his own bachelor party stories raised questions about whether he ever truly understood what faithfulness looked like. So when people say they saw this coming, they're not being messy. They're being observant. That quote. Think about that quote in context. A married man, a man with a newborn, describing his ideal woman as someone who can still keep up, stay up late, and hit the gym with him in the morning. That's not a general statement. That is a very specific description of someone young. Someone with energy he apparently feels like he's not getting at home. And people caught that immediately. Now add to that, Travis was already getting dragged for liking very thirst-heavy photos of his son Landon's girlfriend on social media. His own son's girlfriend. And the comments didn't hold back. People said it perfectly. This is a man who is continuing his cheating ways, just getting better at hiding it. Until now, because apparently he wasn't hiding it well enough. enough. Now, here is where this story goes from messy to genuinely complicated, because we cannot talk about Kourtney unraveling without talking about Kim. We just can't. And this is the part that has people truly unsettled. And because while Kourtney is quietly struggling, while the rumors are spreading, while insiders are saying she looks emotionally tense and guarded, Kim Kardashian has reportedly not been offering her sister comfort. She's been doing something else entirely. She's been mocking her. Now, let's be very clear. We are talking about behavior reported through sources and observed through patterns. Nothing has been confirmed on the record, but the context around this claim is what makes it land so hard, because it doesn't come out of nowhere. It comes with years of history attached to it. Let's go back to what everyone already knows, but nobody wants to say directly. Travis Barker had a thing for Kim Kardashian. He wrote about it in his book. He literally described Kim as someone he found attractive. And when you zoom out and look at the timeline, Travis was in Kim's circle, in Paris Hilton's circle, floating around that entire world. And then he ended up with Kourtney, the sister, the one who was always 1 degree away from the woman he was actually writing about. She denied it completely, said it never happened, and maybe it didn't, but Travis's own words made it clear where his attention was pointed at some point, and Kourtney has always known that. That's not a secret inside that family. That's just a fact that everyone agreed to quietly set aside because the wedding was beautiful and the love looked real. Except now, with Travis caught flirting with a teenager, with Kourtney pulling back publicly, with the marriage showing serious signs of fracture, that old history is resurfacing. And if the reports are true that Kim has been making comments, jokes, or snide remarks about Kourtney's situation, that is not just shade. That is a betrayal. Think about the position Kourtney is in right now. She left Scott Disick, a man she had 3 children with, a man she clearly had deep feelings for, and chose Travis. Chose this intense, all-consuming public love story. And people around her warned her. The rushing felt alarming. The love bombing felt heavy. But she went all in. She had a baby. She changed her entire identity around this relationship. And now, if it's falling apart, and now if her own sister is using that as ammunition, that hits different. Here's what people keep pointing back to: the absence of reassurance. In a world where celebrities can post a single photo, a single caption, a single story, and immediately calm down a rumor, that neither Kourtney nor Travis has done that. There is no "we're good" energy, no subtle couple photo to quiet the noise, no comment, no nothing. And from a couple that built their entire brand on showing love publicly, that silence is deafening. Sources say Kourtney has been more guarded than anyone can remember. Not emotional in a visible way, not reaching out publicly, just quiet. And the people around her say she looks like someone who is holding herself together very carefully, like someone in survival mode. She said it herself, on camera, that this marriage takes real balancing because they are fundamentally different people. Travis is impulsive, high energy, always moving. Kourtney is slower, more intentional, more home-rooted, and she framed it as something they were working through. But now that clip feels less like honesty and more like a warning she was sending us that we weren't ready to receive. Reddit has been deep in the theories too, and some of them are uncomfortably specific. People have been pointing out that Kourtney is almost always physically near Travis, at events, on trips, in public, and suggesting that maybe it's not devotion, maybe it's surveillance, maybe the woman who can't stop breastfeeding publicly, who always needs to be present, who is always in the frame, is a woman who knows what her husband is capable of and has decided that proximity is her only protection. And once someone says that, you genuinely cannot unsee it. People started comparing her behavior now to how she moved during her relationship with Scott. Back then, she had independence. She had her own rhythm. She had breathing room. Now she looks attached, always present, always watching, and the shift feels significant. One comment put it plainly: it feels like Scott all over again. Except Travis is better at hiding it, so let's bring it all back together. Because the headline here, Kim mocking Kourtney after Travis gets caught, isn't just celebrity gossip. It's a whole layered story about 2 sisters, a complicated man, and years of unresolved tension that never fully got addressed. If these reports are accurate, Kim's behavior isn't random. It fits into a pattern of dynamics that fans of this family have been watching for years. Kourtney has always been the one who felt overlooked, the one who wasn't the main focus of the franchise, the one who eventually had to fight to have her storylines taken seriously. And when she found Travis, when she finally had this grand, obsessive love story, she had something that felt entirely hers. And if Kim is now poking at that, if she is making comments while her sister is down, that says something something uncomfortable about where their relationship actually stands. Because a good sister, in that moment, is the one who sits next to you and says nothing to anyone outside those walls, not the one who turns the wound into a punchline. And what makes this worse is the age of the woman Travis is linked to, 19 years old, around the same age as his daughter Alabama, which means this isn't just a betrayal to Kourtney. It's embarrassing. It's the kind of situation that makes a woman feel invisible, replaceable, and foolish for believing in something so loudly. The internet clocked it before most people were willing to say it out loud. And now that the rumors are this specific, this persistent, and this aligned with everything we already know about Travis Barker's track record, it's hard to dismiss. The real question now isn't just whether Travis cheated, it's what Kourtney does with the answer, because she's been here before, not with Travis, but with chaos, with a partner who wasn't fully committed, with a relationship that looked one way in public and felt another way in private. She rebuilt herself after Scott. She could rebuild herself again, but the difference this time is the baby, the wedding, the all-in investment she made into a man she was warned about, and now a sister who, instead of standing beside her, is reportedly standing back and laughing. If any of this is true, that's not just a marriage in trouble, that's a family fracture. And in the Kardashian world, those don't heal quietly.